Hey there. So, I have a channeled message for you. I'm actually going to do a little bit of just channeling right now, but I felt called to pull over. I was just running an errand and I'm in a shopping center that I don't normally go to. And I noticed there was this really beautiful field to the far end of the parking lot. So I felt called to just pull over and sit here for a minute. And I wasn't really sure why. I wasn't planning to share a video today, but I felt called to pull over and I did. And I looked up in the sky, and the sky is a beautiful blue, clear sky today. There's no clouds in the sky except for this one cloud. And I took a picture of it, and I will try to post it on my post section of my YouTube channel. If I feel like it's obvious what I'm seeing in the cloud, I don't know if it's going to come through in the photograph, but I was seeing a horse and a figure holding like a timepiece. And you can't really see the timepiece in the cloud. I just know that this figure's holding this thing. And I immediately got a message about us moving from 2025 into 2026, and how 2026 is the year of the horse in the Chinese zodiac. And I was planning to do a video about this because I got a message about this a few weeks ago, how 2025 has been the year of the snake, and snakes are all about transformation. And I don't know about you, but has been an enormous year of transformation for me. And I know for many, many other people. And it's just been like one awakening after another this year, and just so much personal change and transformation internally. And as we're moving into 2026 very soon, we'll be moving into the year of the horse. I believe it is officially the year of the horse in February, like the third week in February or so, according to the Chinese calendar. And the year of the horse is a very different energy, and it's a fire horse, I believe. So it's a very fast paced energy. It's very fiery and passionate. It's about freedom and independence and movement, forward movement. Whereas this year of the snake has felt very still, and just a lot of just internal changes and transformations going on. And the key with this particular message and this cloud formation that I was seeing is this figure holding a timepiece. And in the cloud, the horse is behind the figure. And this figure is saying it's time. And I'm actually being reminded of something that happened this morning. So a fox has been living in our yard very recently. So I've been seeing this fox a lot just in the last like month or so. And I haven't been going outside a whole lot, like right in my yard, because it's really cold here right now. And I haven't been spending a lot of time outside, but I will go outside to like take out trash. Or this morning I just stepped out onto my deck. It was like 40 degrees. That's not that cold, but cold enough. And this morning I stepped outside with my coffee, and I always just like to go outside, and if I don't sit on my deck and drink my coffee, I'll at least go out there for a few minutes and just kind of greet the trees and nature in my yard. And anyway, so I was out there doing that, and this fox came along my back fence, and he was carrying a dead squirrel. And he buried it in the leaves right outside of my fence. So I just happened to step outside in this moment. And I know the fox has been extremely relevant to my path right now. And I'm not 100% sure yet what he is trying to tell me. I've gotten a few messages from him, but there's something else. And I know the fox is also related to the horse, not biologically, but there's some kind of connection with the fox and the horse, and I need to look that up today. And it's so funny because a little while ago, before I left my house, I was listening to a video, and she was talking about how the fox and the horse are related. So there's something going on here with this fox and horse. So I'm going to dig into that a little bit more. But this dead squirrel with this fox this morning, and that's the other animal that's been coming through a lot to me recently, is the squirrel. And I know it's that time of year when squirrels are preparing for winter, but I've just had some very curious run-ins with squirrels recently, even seeing a black squirrel, which are pretty rare, and I haven't seen one in years in our area, and I just saw one a couple of mornings ago. So this dead squirrel. So squirrels have been reminding me about preparation and how we really need to use this time in 2025, this last month or so of the year, to prepare for 2026, because it is going to be just a year of rapid changes, not like transformative like this year has been, but like things more in our physical world changing, and the energy moving very fast. And this message this morning with the fox and the squirrel was that the time for preparing is almost finished. You know, the squirrel was a dead squirrel, and the message was the time is like right now. Like, you need to finish preparing, like the final stages of preparation for the new year. And this is something I talked about recently also, that I wanted to make another video on, to expand on some more information I've received about like how we're supposed to prepare, and really why we need to prepare ourselves as light workers specifically. That's the collective that I'm speaking to about this. So yeah, I just wanted to share a little quick short kind of channeling about this horse and this energy that we are coming into. And I think it's going to take a lot of people by surprise, because this past year has been so heavy at times, and the energy has felt very slow, even though the time has gone really fast. Like, this year has flown by. It's this weird paradox of where the time feels like it's gone by so fast, but in the moments, in like the day-to-day experience, it has felt very slow at times, or most of the time, or it has felt very kind of stagnant and stuck. And I have felt, and I'm wondering if you have too, I haven't really been able to make progress on like my projects and my goals and things. And I keep being like pulled back every time I would take a step, really not even 2 steps forward, just like 1 step forward, I would be pulled back multiple times this year. And it's because Spirit has wanted us to stay in this like cocoon phase, this phase where we could really work on this internal transformation. And it's happening on the physical level. I'm hearing the cellular level, and also just our light body, our emotional bodies, just everything that to do with the individual has been changing, especially in the lightworker community that I'm connecting with. So you've probably been in a similar kind of phase this year, but Spirit is saying that we need to be ready for things to change quickly next year. And the energy is going to be picking back up, and we are going to be seeing like progress like we haven't seen before. And if we're not prepared, then it's going to possibly throw us off. So a big part of this is preparing our physical vessel to be able to do several things. And I'm going to touch on this in another video. I really wasn't planning to get into this today, but I'll share a little bit about it as sort of a preview, because I feel like there's like this time sensitivity thing. And of course, this is November, I don't know what the date is. It's like 23rd or something. It's the week of Thanksgiving in the United States. And I'm hosting Thanksgiving this year, and I have a lot to do this week, and I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to make a full-length video like I was hoping to, and I didn't get to one last week either. So I feel like Spirit's nudging me to talk about this now, because there's only, a month, a little over a month until the end of the year. And, it's not like on January 1st, everything's going to change and all of a sudden, we have to be ready to go. But it's going to be around the early part of the year where we're going to really want to be ready to deal with the changes that are coming. And I want to make a whole video on this, but I'm going to touch on it just now. If you're familiar with 3I Atlas, the comet that is in our solar system right now, there is a connection with this. So I've mentioned a few videos back. If you're new, hi, welcome. My name's Amy. If you're just seeing my video for the first time, I have a few videos that I've done already. I'm a new channel, but I talked a little bit about this frequency. There's a new frequency that is coming onto the planet, and I'm connecting with a collective of people who have a mission, like a collective mission, that we incarnated here together at this time to work with this frequency. And I've received a lot more details about that in the recent past weeks. And there's a connection with 3I Atlas and this energy. And what I will say in this short video is that 3I Atlas is going to be coming the closest to the Earth December 19th. And it's going to be a really pivotal time of when this frequency is being downloaded into people. And different people, depending on their mission, are going to experience it differently. And I'm speaking to this collective that is going to be harnessing a particular frequency. And this time, this December, like it's right around the equinox, the 19th is when this comet is passing, or we don't know exactly what it is. I think they're calling it a comet, but I'll talk more about that when I make a video all about this frequency and how it's tying into 3I Atlas. But that's coming by December 19th. And then the equinox, or the summer, oh goodness, the winter solstice is the 21st of December. So there's so much happening in December, and there's going to be a huge upshift in our light bodies happening at that time. And this preparation that Spirit keeps talking about is to prepare us to access this frequency and be able to really embody it and start using it as we move into 2026 and beyond. But this is like kind of an initiation that's happening in December. So, it's right around the corner. And there's other things going on in December too that are really important. And I don't know the details about why these dates are important, but there's going to be like all these shifts are coming here right at the end of the year. December 4th is a full moon. I wasn't prepared to talk about this, so I don't have any notes in front of me, but I had some dates I have written down. December 4th is one, December 12th, and then the 19th, and the 21st. And there's something else, and this may be personal for me, I'm not sure, but there is something about the moon phase between December 11th and 19th that is important. And that is going to be a waning crescent moon phase. And I was born under a waning crescent moon. And that has been something coming up for me all week. Is I keep seeing like crescent moons everywhere, like in my own readings and just different places. I'm seeing like images of the crescent moons everywhere. And so I was called to look up again what it means when you're born under a waning crescent moon. So you can do that. You can Google your birth date and year and see what phase the moon was in at your birth time or your birth date. You just need the date and the year. And it's really, really interesting, similar to like zodiac information that talks about like your personality and things like that, but I thought it was absolutely spot on for me, being born under a waning crescent moon. So I'm curious if there's maybe some of you that were also born under that moon phase. And like I said, I don't know if this is something that was specific just to me, but there's something about that week. So our next waning crescent moon phase is going to be December 11th to 19th. So I just feel like December is going to be a really amazing month for really feeling more shifts in our body after we've gone through all this transformation and everything we've gone through this year. It's like our bodies are now ready, and we need to be ready. Like our bodies have been ready because we've shed so much, but then we need to also finish like fine-tuning our vessels to be able to work with this energy. So I'm going to make another video to talk a little bit about what that could look like, but I mean, it's pretty common sense, you know, when you're just taking care of yourself, self-care, and just taking your mission seriously. And I've mentioned this before in my previous videos, that us light workers are really being called to step fully into our mission now. And to do that, we really have to carve time out in our daily schedules for our spiritual practices and for doing our light work. So I'm going to talk more about that in an upcoming video. I am going to try to get a long form regular video out this week. And yeah, but I just wanted to share that with you today. So in whatever ways you can start preparing yourself for December and then moving into 2026, that would be apparently really important for us to do. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you really soon. Bye.